bench today we've got a fun little project. So we have a customer brought in a Remington Model 4. It's a 30-06. The guy told me that he bought this in 2003. He's had pretty good operation with it. He's noticed in the last I don't know, few times he's gone out with it, that the last when you rack the slide back, when you take it and you pull the bolt back, it won't lock back into place. So got to figure that out. The gentleman who brought this in said this gun has actually saved his life, but not in the way you would think. He was out hunting one time, and he found himself in a bit of a pickle where he fell into some quicksand, and then using this rifle right here, and he's actually showed me some of the damage back here from when he grabbed a sapling with it after he fell into the mud. He grabbed it and he pulled himself to safety using that. So that's an interesting story with this. So this is Model 4. We're going to work on, see what we can figure out, see if we can get that working again where you can pull the bolt back. I figure one of the first things we'll do is we're going to take the trigger assembly out of here. We're going to clean that, and then we'll clean up here too. But for right now, we'll just start with this. So get us a punch out. We'll get us our brass hammer. We're just going to knock these two little pins out right here and take a look, see what we got. All right, that's pretty dirty, so we're gonna go ahead and clean that up real quick, and yeah, see what we got. I don't know if you can see that. It is just filthy gunky in there, so we're gonna get that all kinds of cleaned back up. Yeah, we're just gonna get that cleaned up. Jesus, this thing is nasty. There's my paper towels. It's amazing what a simple paper towel can do. Paper towel, some CLP, and a couple of Q-tips. Okay, that's good. Alright, let's get down in here. It's going to take a little bit, so what we'll do is I'll get this cleaned out and we will come right back. Alrighty, so now that we've got that cleaned up, I've got it dried off. Went ahead and cleaned all the excess off. Now what we got to do is we got to put this back into here. And so thankfully these pins are different. So you got a fatter pin and a skinnier pin, and they'll just go right back in here. So what we want to do is we want to flip this over. As you can see, we got all that crap cleaned out of there. Now we're going to slide this in here. We're going to do it in such a way that this pin right here, so this is the arm, goes in correctly. So we're going to slide this in. Let's make sure we don't booger anything up. I'm going to slide that in and set it to not fire, just to make our lives a little easier here. That thing is not sliding around all over the place there. All right, so now that we got that in there, so we've got that slid back up in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the firing pin off. We're going to send the firing pin forward. Make sure we can rack the bolt, which we can. Fire that good. Put that back in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure this is lined up. It looks like it is, so grab my hammer here. Good. And then we're going to grab this one right here. And we're using the plastic side of this. Right? Take our... All right. Looks like it's firing just fine. Now, what I was trying to show was that after I got these pins back in, is I was doing a cycle there. Make sure it was working. That's important to make sure that everything's fine, because if you put this arm, there's that arm right there I was talking about, if that doesn't go in correctly, this won't go back at all. So you got to make sure that you put it in correctly. So other thing we did for this particular gun, and what the customer noted, was that the magazine would not properly strip off, or once a round was fired, it wouldn't properly eject it, and it would lock open. So what I wound up doing for this was I did a couple of things. The first thing I did was I cleaned this up, because that was one of the issues that I noticed in here was it was pretty gunky. So I went ahead and just cleaned all of that out. You know, took the, like I said, took the trigger assembly out, cleaned up, took this apart. There's a little pin right here. You press this all the way down. You take a really tiny punch like this, and then you angle it out and it pops out. So what I did was I cleaned all of that out too. Then I greased it up with some CLP right here. Greased up CLP, took the excess off. And then I noticed when I was pushing down, it wouldn't lock, right? It would get locked down there, or it wouldn't come back up. So the magazine itself over time has gotten loose. So I just took my hammer and just put it against a solid spot and just tapped it down lightly, and that made it a lot more solid and doesn't shake around anymore. The other thing I did was this little dimple right here had gotten flat over years and years of use. So went ahead again, took a punch, depressed this down, and just tapped it out a little bit. So now, when you put it in here, it doesn't have as much shake anymore. And what we'll do next is we'll do a test fire. Again, I probably won't have this on screen, but I'll do a test fire to make sure that this works correctly. But I think what we've got right now is I've got this cleaned up, and this should fire, and it should eject rounds, and it should cycle good for the customer. Thanks for watching.